Yeah, it's okay.
Hi guys. Welcome to our team webinar. It's just me and Cassie hopping on today. I know you guys had a lot of crazy scheduling stuff because it's summertime, but I wanted to make sure that but I wanted to make sure that I got all these takeaways from Summit to you guys, because holy shit, you guys, I can't even tell you, like, Nashville in itself was so cool, but being at Summit with 20,000 other Beachbody coaches and like part of our team, it was just so amazing. My heart is on fire, and like I was like 100% in this before, and now I'm like 200 and trillion% in this. Like, I'm here for life, and I'm so pumped, and I hope each and every one of you gets your butt to Summit next year, because it is, in my opinion, a non-negotiable. It is vital for your business if you care about moving forward in this, which you all should, because it's incredible. Like, watching the top coaches who make like so much money, like, and hearing their stories, like, they're just like us. And it was so cool to just feel like, okay, like 5 years ago, like, you were just like me. You have a story that resonates so strongly with me. It was crazy. But anyways, I'm going to stop blabbering, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So let me see. All right. Yes. Can you see that, Cassie?
I sure can.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go in. Cool. So Team Inspire Joy Summit takeaways. All right, here we go. So first of all, announcements. So a lot of new stuff got announced at Summit. It's kind of like their celebration party. And so here are the biggest things. Number one, the Coach Online Office is actually going mobile. So there's going to be an app for it, which is amazing. And for all my new coaches, like, you are never going to know the stress that is trying to go on your phone without an app. So it's going to be amazing. And that's launching September 6th. So in about a month, we're going to be able to do that. So that's awesome. Also, big things coming out, especially on Beachbody On Demand, Fixate, which is going to be, so Autumn did a Fixate cookbook, which is based on the 21-day fix. And it's super cool. Basically, she just puts a bunch of recipes in there, but what they're doing is her brother is actually like a very well-known, like really intense chef. And so they're going to be putting together a new cooking show. It's going to be strictly on Beachbody On Demand. It's like free for any Beachbody On Demand users, which is so cool. And basically every week they're going to be like showing us how to make a new recipe. And she's going to take us through all of the ins and outs of like the health benefits and like what they're cooking with and the ingredients they're using. And he's going to go through how to chop things, how to make things. I just think it's a really cool feature. So if you want a cooking show and not just workouts, Beachbody On Demand starting that. Also, starting in September, Beachbody On Demand is doing a 3-week yoga retreat program, which I'm so fucking excited for, because it's like the one thing that they didn't really have in their roster, and now they do. And basically it's for yoga basics. So it's for anybody, and I think it's good for, I'm a big yogi, and I think I will probably love it too, but it's intended for people who have always wanted to try yoga, but feel really intimidated by going to a studio and don't want to like go and make a fool of themselves because they don't know any of the names and any of the words. I know when I started yoga, I was like, what the fuck is Hijin? And what are all these different things? And they go through it and teach you the basics. And it's a 3-week progression, and it teaches you how to properly align your body, like how to do the poses correctly. It's so cool. And that's also completely free on Beachbody On Demand. So if you have a Beachbody On Demand membership starting in September, you can do that program, which is so cool. So I think that'll really open up our roster for new customers who are really wanting to try yoga for the first time, which is awesome, or get back to the basics with an awesome program. And last but not least, they announced their next big release, which is called Core to Force. I am so excited about this. Joel and Jericho are the trainers behind this, and they are my favorite. I actually did one of their live workouts at Summit, and they're just so down to earth. Jericho is this mom, like she's a mom, and she literally made this big speech about how she's like, I don't care about looking chiseled and perfect on these workout videos. Like, I just had a baby, and I'm going to be real with you. Like, she's more important than me getting a 6-pack, and it's all about being strong and stuff. But I just love her message, and Joel is so gorgeous to look at. So yeah, the program is going to be really fun, and it's boxing inspired. So basically it's like 3 minutes on, 1 minute off of high intensity program. So it's really cool. It's going to also kind of teach you how to like throw a real punch, which I think for women is so important and cool. I think a lot of guys will be able to really love and relate to it too. So those are general announcements, get it out of the way. Okay, so what I want to talk to you guys today are just some of my takeaways from Summit. I have literally 20 pages. I have like 20 pages of notes. So it's kind of impossible for me to share everything I learned, which is why I think it's so important for you to be at live events. But this was my biggest takeaway coming out of it. And it was actually something that Carl Deichler, our CEO, said. And he said, the key to being a successful coach, you need 4 things. You need courage, creativity, resources, and patience. And everything we learned, this whole like 2 crazy days of like learning immersion, like brain falling off, I have so much in my brain, like it all revolves around these 4 words. And anyways, it's amazing. So starting with courage, here are some of my takeaways from all the different workshops. Inaction breeds fear. I think that this is so key, especially for new coaches. I started and I just kind of took off because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do this anyways, because otherwise I'm going to scare myself from not doing it. And I think that so many new coaches, when they take a couple steps back or don't really start running out of the gates, they feel like they can't do it or they're going to be a failure. And my biggest advice, if you're feeling that way or if you're worried you're going to feel that way, is just take action now. Like, what are you waiting for? There's nothing saying that you can't start today. Like, today, start. Make a decision. Give yourself a deadline for when you're going to run your free group or when you're going to start inviting people and when you're going to, do a couple things that take you out of your comfort zone. If you don't, you're just going to sit back and let that fear take over and instead just fight the fear, right? Okay, I want you to write this down. I have my workbook in front of me too. So I'm doing this right alongside with you as I drop my pen. But I want you to make the decision right now to do shit that scares you. And I want you to write 3 things, do it right now. I want you to write 3 things that you're going to do this month within the business or within your own personal health that terrifies you. It can be reaching out to 50 new people and asking them and see if they want to join. It can be doing a program completely from start to finish, including the nutrition program and never missing a day. It can be running your first free group. It can be co-coaching your first group or running your own challenge group. Write those 3 things down right now. I'm going to give you a minute. You can always come back to this after if you don't finish. I'm giving you 10 more seconds. The beauty of live replay, if you're watching this not live, is you can pause. All right, moving on. I'm going to hold you to those things. I want you to, in our group, once you have watched this, I want you to write them down and share in our PS group because I'm going to hold you to them. Capiche? All right. Next, we are our biggest obstacle in this business. Ourselves, right? This was a big thing that coaches kept saying. It's like ultimate, and this is something I've also been learning so much in our PD is that our thoughts, our fears, we can choose those thoughts. We can choose what we think every single day. We can choose our actions. And sometimes we take the easy route and choose things that our past selves would have said or ways that our past selves would have worked and operated, right? You're constantly growing as a coach. You're constantly building upon yourself and being the best version of yourself. So allow yourself to move past those things about you and hop over those instead of just like letting them soak inside of you and like not really go anywhere, right? All right. This is so important. The more authentic you are and the more you share your passions, the more people will love and gravitate towards you. right? It's scary to put yourself out there, especially on social media. It's scary to like share something vulnerable on your Instagram or your Facebook because you're worried. I'm sure you're worried that people are going to like say shit or talk about you. But ultimately, the more authentic you are and the more honest you are and transparent, the more people are going to be like, hey, I can relate to that, right? Share your stuff that you love. Like, it can be silly stuff, but share your heart. Like, yes, health and fitness is so important to share, but at the same time, like, you're not just a health and fitness robot. You're a person. You have other passions, you know, that lie outside of that, and use that, you know, share that in your social media, because that's what you're going to be able to find people that you relate with more. You know, that's how you're going to be able to find your coaches that you want to, you know, add to your team, because you're going to have those connections together, right? Okay, this is a big one. You are not your fear, you are your heart. I know I'm talking about fear, but you are not your fear. So don't let those things overwhelm you, right? You are your heart. What are the things in your heart that make you happy, right? So Carl Deichler said, and I just love that quote. It's not really like, I don't know, it's not like be all end all, but I just think it's so important to always remember that. Write that quote down, because that shit is so real. Okay, and this is my biggest one, #no plan B. I decided when I first signed up to be a coach, I was like, I'll give myself a year. And when I was at Summit, I realized that was really, really ridiculous of me, because it's an easy thing to say, right? It's the decision. It's the mindset of, well, you know, I'm probably not going to be great at this, but I'll give it a year and see how it goes. Instead of saying, no, I'm all in. This is awesome. I love this. I'm doing this. And I'm doing it until I can't do it anymore, right? That is what a no plan B like mindset is, right? You don't have all these different, the coaches that have been successful in this business did shit this way. They had no plan B. They said, I'm doing this forever. I don't care what it's going to take. I don't care how many hours I'm going to have to work this business to make this successful. I don't care what sacrifices I have to make, but I'm going to do this because my family, my why, my reason is so important to me, right? Don't have a plan B, you guys. If you want to take this seriously, don't have a plan B. All right, that's courage. Next, creativity. This is my favorite one. Okay, you guys, I know I say this over and over again, but Chalene Johnson actually did a whole speech about this. And it was all about sharing your story. Stories sell, right? Products don't sell. Stories sell, right? Your passions, your likes, your good days, bad days, your quirks, your heart. You're not just health and wellness lovers. You have so much more that makes you you, right? Okay, so she made this big analogy about how when people sell like a product, like talking about Shakeology, you're like, well, it has 47 different superfoods, and you know, it's really good for you. It's like 5 salads worth. People don't care about that. I mean, yes, people care about that, but what people care about is why you love it, right? Because it saved for the first time in your life, you don't have sugar cravings anymore, or you have so much energy and your 3 p.m. slumps are gone. Or for me, it helped clear up my eczema. And that was a huge thing that I never thought would be possible. Like, whatever it is that's contributing to your story, Shakeology, fitness programs, whatever, that's the story you need to be telling, right? That's from your heart. That's what people care about. So share your story, not just what you're doing, right? A picture of you kissing Shakeology, well, I love it. That's not going to tell people that, like, that it's awesome. It's just going to tell them that you're trying to sell them something, right? What you need to do is get across that message, right? And just share your story. Share your story. If you need amazing examples of this, go to Hannah's Instagram, go to Anna's Instagram. Like, they have some incredible snippets and nuggets of their stories that they go throughout. I feel like I've started building that on mine too. So find people that you resonate with, that you look up to, that have social medias that you're like, I want mine to be like that, and start finding inspiration from them and share your story. Share your story. Okay, what is your vision? I want you guys to, at some point this month, I'm putting this on your to-do list. I want you to make a vision board. If you're going to be at our Team Inspire Joy brunch at Anna's this weekend, we're going to be doing this there. But I highly, highly recommend that you put a vision board together. All the top coaches talked about how by them doing that, they put into the universe what they wanted, right? And don't sell yourself short. Like, write down the things that you really want in your life. Do you want to travel to a place? Do you want a house that looks exactly like this? Do you want a couch? Whatever. Do you want to be an elite coach? Do you want to be, making like in the 100,000s or millions in this business? Because it's possible. So write down those things, make a vision board, and put it somewhere where you can see every single day. Okay. This was also a big one that Bonnie Engel and Amy Silverman, I can't talk, they did a whole they did a whole workshop on social media, and we actually posted it in the Inspire Joy page. So if you didn't watch it, I really highly recommend it. But what they talked about is when you post, like, include a picture of you, and before you press send on Facebook or whatever, say the words out loud and make sure it sounds like you, like the way you would speak, right? If you go to my page, everything that I write on my pictures is pretty much how I speak. And that really helps, people feel like they know me and get to know me, and it's not like weird the second they're like, oh, they meet me in person, they're like, you don't sound anything like your social media, right? Try and say the words out loud. It super helps. Okay, quick exercise. This was also a part of their workshop, but I really love it, and I think it would be great to do. So number one, I want you to just quickly jot down like 5 things that you think are normal about you. For example, my things are, I love dogs, I'm a wife, I hate taking out the trash. So go, write 5 things, or however many come to your mind in 20 seconds. Okay, you can come back to it. The next one, what have you overcome in life? I want you to write as many as you can in the next 20 seconds. Some of mine were emotional eating, anxiety, my perfectionism. Promise this isn't pea water, it's just melted iced tea. Okay, and last but not least, what makes you unique, right? That's what people want to know. So for me, some of the things I put was, I'm a great singer, I own my goof, I hate makeup. 20 seconds. All right, you can come back to that later. All right, next, resources. This is a big one, you guys. So resources, you have so many things at your fingertips, okay? And it's so important that you're using them. And this has honestly been the reason I have gotten so far in the past 8 months is because I use these resources all the time. PD, personal development, read it, apply it, and pay it forward, you guys. Read 10 minutes every single day. I use the nuggets that I read from my books, and I use them for my Instagram, and I use them to inspire other people, right? So don't just take it in, apply it in your life, take action on it, and also pay it forward and share it with other people. Share books that really resonate with you with other people. That's how Anna and I made our very first connection. Is she was reading The Artist's Way, and I was in this weird place, and I saw her reading it, and I was like, what is this book? And she told me all about it, and I, for 3 months, read this book from front to back, and that was my first PD book I ever read before I was even a coach. And that was our first connection. So you never know. Just pay it forward and do your PD, guys. I cannot stress this enough. I don't go a day without my PD, whether it's a podcast or a book. So vital. Next one, complete a program. This was literally pushed down our throats at Summit, because it's so important, you guys, to show that you're a product of the product, to show that you can go from A to B, right? For all your challengers or all the people that are watching you, they want to know that you're actually going to do it. You're actually going to stick to it. So start a program, share that you're starting it, and follow through. So I want you guys all to write down right now what your next program is. If you are starting with my challenge group on Monday, you should be starting a new program. I started T25 on Monday. It's a 60-day program, and I will be completing it fully. I haven't missed a day so far. I'm only on day 3, but I'm not going to miss a day. So make that commitment to yourself, okay? Resources for business tools, okay? The business activity tracker. If you do not use this already, I really recommend starting. It's a really nice way to track who you're talking to, all those fun things. And that's found on the Coach Online Office. So take a look on that and really start printing. I started printing mine out and tracking them. I also created my own trackers after a while, but it's a great place to start. Also, you should be tuning into the National Wake Up Calls, you guys. It's like free training from top coaches in this business, and every single week, Monday at 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern, you know, you get a free training from the top coaches in Beachbody. It's incredible. And you can access previous National Wake Up Calls if you plug into the Team Beachbody podcast, and I highly recommend doing that. I literally listened to like 5 on my plane ride back from Kansas City a couple weeks ago, and had so many takeaways and so many inspirational ideas. So definitely be plugging into that. That's a non-negotiable every Monday. Also, we have webinars at our fingertips, you guys. Our Inspired Joy webinars that happen every single month, the webinars I host, and also the webinars that Shred Nation hosts. They do webinars every Thursday night, just like tonight, actually. I think we're overlapping. But generally speaking, we won't be doing that. And you can plug into those too, because that's also your family. You're part of Inspired Joy, but you're also a part of Shred Nation. So take advantage, because there's so many amazing resources and so many vital coaches that have been in this business for so long. And can teach you so much. Also, our trainings. If you haven't gotten plugged into New Coach Basics, our next one is starting, I think it's on the 15th of August. I will confirm that. But if you haven't done New Coach Basics, it's 2 weeks, and it's within our Inspire Joy team. And then once you're done with that, do Coach Prep School, you guys. Coach Prep School is a program through Shred Nation, and it's the next step, basically. So New Coach Basics is like the building blocks, the foundation of what you need to know. Coach Prep School takes you to that next level, and then Action University is like, once you completed that, you know everything there is to build a business. I've been through all 3 of these, but you have to do them in order, you guys, because it's all about learning and building on yourself. And I highly, 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 highly recommend, if you've done New Coach Basics and you haven't taken the leap to do New Coach Prep School or Action University, do it. All right, so these are the resources you can receive, right, for yourself and for your business. But also, you as a coach need to be providing resources for people, right? People are going to follow you because you provide value for them. Because when they go on your profile, you're a light for them. You make them so happy, right? So this is a big thing that Melanie Mitchell talked about, and it was the 80-20 rule for posting, right? Add more value than you expect to receive. So when you're posting, add things like 80% of the time that are valuable for other people, whether they're recipes or inspirational quotes or, a story that people can relate to that will inspire them. And then 20% of the time, post call to actions for your free groups or your challenge groups, or for them to reach out to you, right? Expect to be giving more than you're receiving in this business, and you will go so far. The big takeaway for this is you are responsible for your own success, right? If you treat your business like a business, it will reward you and reap the benefits like a business will. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll reward you like a hobby, which is fine if that's what you want it to be, right? But if you really want to buckle down and like potentially make this your full-time job, you need to treat it like a business from the beginning and believe that you're going to be there from the get-go, all right? So with that, I want you to start thinking, what are these things are you already plugging into? What are these things are you already doing? And what are the activities you can start doing that will give you the greatest results, right? I want you to write down 2 things that you feel like you haven't necessarily been doing, or the things that you really need to keep doing that will give you the best results possible. I'll give you 15 seconds. I'm being so strict with my time. Ooh. All right, you can come back. All right, next up, patience. So Gary Vaynerchuk, who was our keynote speaker, who, if you haven't heard talk, is unreal. He's such a sharpshooter, and he just tells it as it is, and I fucking love that, because that's how I feel like I am. And he came from a background of like nothing and has done so much with his life. And his big thing that he talked about was this word, patience. And I think he hit the nail on the head when he said that 97, he was like, I was looking at all your social medias, and he's like, 97% of you are lazier than you need to be. And I was like, oh shit, the whole room got silent. And I was like, it's true, because you think you're putting in this work, but it's like, you can always do more. And I think that like, I got frustrated a couple months ago because I felt like I was putting in all this effort and I wasn't getting as much as I had been. And like, I wasn't signing up new challengers, and I was like, what's happening? What's going on? My momentum stopped. And yes, I had put my focus in other places, and yes, there will be ebbs and flows in this business, but I wasn't doing the work. And if you're not doing the work, it's not going to happen. And I think the biggest thing that he mentioned was you have to, especially in this business, you guys, you have to have patience. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen right away. It is a slow roll, but it is a guaranteed roll. And if you keep doing it, if you keep trekking on, you will keep bringing on people. People will start seeing what you're doing. And if you believe in the not yet seen, if you believe in the road and you have your eyes on the road and on the end result, you're going to get there, right? So anyways, there's a baby analogy that Lindsay Matway talked about in one of the workshops. And it just reminded me a lot of being patient. And she compared being a baby to like having a coaching business. And she's like, at first, like, you don't really know what you're doing. You're trying to like kind of walk, but like it's not working. You're crawling, you're getting there really slowly. Everything takes a long time. You're like, oh, what's happening, right? And slowly but surely, you start figuring things out, and it feels better and better. And then you're kind of walking, you stumble every once in a while, right? It's like you're a baby. It takes time, you guys, to build this business. Be gentle with yourself and know that there's no right way. There's no perfect way. There's just consistency and patience and keeping on trekking on and doing the work. And if you can do that, if you can say to yourself right now, I'm going to make this happen, I promise you it will. It really, really, really will. The reason that so many coaches don't succeed is because they don't have this key, right? All right, so those are the 4, and I'm going to add my last one. And this is my biggest takeaway, and my thing that I feel like has been so impactful for me is consistency. Are you getting your workouts in every day? Are you drinking your Shaco and eating to fuel your body? Are you getting your 10 minutes of PD in? Are you sharing on social media every single day? Are you running challenge groups every month? Are you connecting with 3 to 5 people every single day? Consistency is key, you guys. Consistency is key. This was my word of the month. Started doing words of the month, and I really like it. And I actually think this might be my perma word. But consistency, when I'm consistent with my business, when I'm consistent with doing all of these things every single day and month, I see growth. I see momentum. And it's so, so amazing to watch. You have to be running challenge groups if you want people to, and my newer coaches, like, you can be co-coaching with me. You can be running free groups, right? Until you get your feet off the ground. That's what I'm here for. But you need to be putting yourself out there, especially when you're new, because people don't know, right? People aren't going to know unless you tell them what you're doing. People aren't going to be excited about it unless you share it with them, right? You can't just expect people, like, you've made that switch, but like, I still have people coming up to me, some of my best friends even, who are like, what are you doing, right? Consistency, you guys, showing up every day. It's so important. And if you're consistent, it'll show everyone else that they can trust you and that they can be a part of what you're doing too. And that's a really cool thing. So, all right, that is my last slide, I think. Yeah, that's my last slide. So I'm gonna exit it up. Hopefully I can do this. Whoop. Stop share. Oh, I figured it out. Yes. All right. So thank you guys so much. That was a little very fast. I know I went kind of quick on that, but I wanted to get that to you guys. So I'm going to post this on our Google Drive so you guys can have the slides for future. If you have any questions about any of this, just post it on our page or shoot me a message. I'm always here for you and can chat with you about it. But for now, since it's just me and Cassie, I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. And Cassie and I will maybe have a little hangout. So FOMO, because you weren't here. Maybe you should join next time. La la la. All right, bye guys.